Hello everyone, my name is Katie, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to be doing December's fall-ish face of first impressions. It's mostly a fall face. There's two products I don't have. I've not got a foundation and I've not got an eyeliner. I'm pretty sure I've got everything else though, so it's for the most part a full face of first impressions. I was originally going to get some like NARS based products, like I wanted to get the Sheer Glow foundation and the Creamy Radiant Concealer, but that wouldn't even be a first impression because I have actually used those before. But those are pricey products, so I thought, you know, I'd put that towards Christmas presents instead and I can get those at some point next year. So everything that I've got today is pretty much from Revolution Beauty. There's one product that is not. Everything else is from Revolution Beauty, so it's quite an affordable drugstore thing we're doing today. I've also changed my setup around. I don't know if this lighting's good because my soft boxes are in a bit of a different position, so we'll see what it's like when I'm editing it back and it's like looks terrible probably. But anyway, let's get straight to this video. I'm going to start with some eyeshadow and I've got a few products. So the first thing I've got here is the Be Crazy About palette from Makeup Obsession. I've tried one Obsession eyeshadow product before and that was their Obsessive Eyes eyeshadow palette, which I'm not sure if you can still get this. I feel like it kind of disappeared, but I really liked that eyeshadow palette. It was very good quality, so I'm hoping that this will also be good quality. The packaging of this is really nice. You've actually got like a really good quality mirror in it, because I mean I was looking at it and I saw how ugly I looked and I was like, yeah, you know, it's a good quality mirror when you look ugly. But this is what the colours look like. Very kind of vibrant colours. It just really appealed to me when I saw it on the website, so I thought, yes, I want that. Let's have it. I've also got 5 of the Revolution Pro Pigment pomades, which I've never had a product like this before, so I'm hoping that this is the sort of thing that I'll get along with. And I'm not really sure like how they're actually supposed to be used. Like, are they meant more so as eyeliners, or are you supposed to use them like as eyeshadow? Like, I'm not really sure. I feel like they'd work quite well for like cut creases if like, so like for example, say you wanted like a yellow statement eyeshadow, maybe you'd put this like, you'd use this to, okay, like carve out your cut crease and then go on with the eyeshadow and like it would kind of amp it up even more. I don't know, maybe that's like a possible use for them. But anyway, I got 5 colours. So I got the lemon yellow shade, I got the trendy turquoise one, I got classic red, it's basically all the primary colours there. I also got a white one, this is paper white, and then jet black. So I don't really know if I'm going to use these today or how I'm going to use these or what, but this is just a white one for example, so as you can see it's just kind of like a pomade sort of creamy thing. It's like, it's not really like really creamy, like it's creamy definitely, like, and quite pigmented as you can see, but it's not like a slip and slidey sort of thing. Like I feel like it's quite sturdy. That's not the right word. I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Like, I don't think you'd put it on and it would like smudge everywhere. I don't really know what I'm going to do with these, to be honest. So I have done a concealer and a powder base in my eyes, as I always do before eyeshadow. I definitely want to use the yellow in this called Joy. I did swatch this and this one didn't swatch particularly well, but I know that with a lot of yellow eyeshadows they don't always swatch well, but then when you put them on the eyes they do like work. Not just yellows actually, I've seen that a lot with eyeshadows, like they won't swatch very nicely, but then as soon as you put them on the eyes they actually work quite well, so I'm hoping that's the case with this one. You know what, let's just go in with Joy, let's do it, and put it for the crease. I mean, it's definitely picking up a lot of product on the brush. Quite a bit of fallout, but that's not something that bothers me. And it's definitely showing up on the eyes. Okay, well it's definitely pigmented on the eyes, that's for sure, as you can see right there. Okay, don't be fooled by the shitty swatch for that one, because I mean look at that, that's a hella pigmented yellow eyeshadow. It looks even like more vibrant on camera, that's weird. Like, I mean it looks vibrant in person, but like on camera it looks like insane. I'm gonna go in with this, it's a matte kind of darkish blue called Emotion. I'm gonna also work that for the crease, but obviously below the yellow. And then I think we'll do some sort of cut crease. again, pigmented. I'm going to go back in with the yellow just to blend it a little bit. So now I want to cut my crease, but I'm just thinking of what colours I want to use. So I want to use one of these pomades to do cut crease, but I'm not sure if I should use the white one or the turquoise one. I mean, we've already kind of put a turquoisey colour on our crease, so I'm going to play it safe and stick with the white one, I think. So I'm going to use the white pigment pomade from Rev Pro. I'm going to see if this works to carve out a cut crease. Right, so I'm just using a little, I think this is the detailer brush by Real Techniques. I've had this for like years. Let's try this. I'm hoping that I won't go out of frame because I have a bad habit of doing that. You know, like, it's definitely very pigmented when you put it on the eyes, which I think is going to make the kind of colours pop a bit more. Okay, I like that for the cut crease because it's quite, it's not too like slippy and creamy, it's more kind of like thick and sturdy, so it's not going to just slip everywhere. So I like that. I think I'm going to go with Hero Worship in the inner corner, and then I'm going to put Champion more in like the kind of outer 2/3. So I'll kind of use a brush and my fingers as well. I don't know. I'll start with the brush though. And that's incredibly beautiful. So we're going to go in with Champion now and put that on the rest of the crease, cut crease. So, I mean, just look at that. Very pigmented, very beautiful, loving it. I'm going back in with a bit of Emotion just to blend. And then I'm going to use the shade Cloud 9, which is a glimmery white colour. And I'm just going to put that under my brow bone. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of the black colour called Idol. It's just a matte black. A little bit of kind of navy tone to it as well. I think I'm just going to add a bit of that to my outfit and hope I don't ruin it by doing that. Okay, I'm just realising now that this isn't actually a black, it is more of a navy. Not so sure about that shade. Okay, I think we'll leave the eyeshadow at that. I have to say, I think that this palette is pretty damn good. I mean, there's some pretty good pigment there. One shade I'm not mad about is that Idol shade, but I think that's because I thought it was going to be like a dark pigmented black, but it's actually more of a like sheer kind of navy colour. So I feel like I could possibly get a use out of that, but I don't know. But pretty much everything else, I mean, very pigmented, very easy to work with. I mean, like, hella vibrant. I mean, I'm loving it. Quite tempted to see if I can do a winged liner with the pigment pomade, the black one. I know a lot of people use these sort of things to do, like liquid liner. But I've never tried it before, but I want to see if I can give it a go. I've got like an eyebrow brush here, which I need to clean off because it's got some intense pigment on it. We're going to attempt to do a winged liner and hope that I don't disastrously mess this up. Okay, I'm finding this really hard to do a winged liner with. Like, it's fine for kind of printing on like the lash line area, but I can't really do a wing. I just can't do it, not with this kind of brush anyway, and I don't really know what else to use. I don't think I'm mad about using that for an eyeliner. That was just very finicky, and maybe you just need a better brush for it, but I think maybe I'd stick to using that as more of an eyeshadow product because it's definitely pigmented. Like, it's pigmented, it's just I don't know. So I'm just going to put some pencil liner into my waterlines. I didn't have anything new for that, but I have to put black liner in my waterlines. Then moving on to the mascara I've got to try. This is the Makeup Revolution V Mascara. That is all that it says on here. V Mascara. And obviously this came out quite recently, and I know that Soph Does Nails quite likes it. So I wanted to try it too. It seems to have like a lot of product. It's a bit gloopy looking, so I would have to wipe a bit of excess off that, but I'm excited to see what this does for my lashes. We're just gonna go straight in for this. I'm obviously just gonna do my top lashes at the moment. We'll do our bottom ones when we get to that point. Okay, well there's a little side by side. Now that definitely gives a hell of a lot of thickness and a hell of a lot of volume. I feel like it's kind of bordering on a bit clumpy. The formula is quite wet, so I feel like this is maybe the type of thing that would improve the more it kind of dries out. I feel like it could be like a really good mascara once it dries out a little bit. But I mean, it's definitely got some good intensity to it. I do actually quite like it, but it is bordering on a little bit clumpy, and I normally like clumpy, but I feel like this is taking it a little bit too far. But no, I do like it though. I do like it. Let's just do the other one. I just feel like this is probably going to get a bit better the more I use it, and it does dry up. But I mean, I still like it on first impressions. Like, that's definitely one of the thickest mascaras I've seen. It's more, I wouldn't say it's particularly lengthening though, it's more so thickness and volume we're getting. We're not really getting a lot of kind of length necessarily, which is fine if you've got long lashes in the first place. I mean, my lashes are quite long. They're not ridiculously long, but they're reasonably long, so to be honest, I care more so about thickness and volume than I do length, although a bit of length didn't hurt anyone. That's both of them on. You know what, I actually really like this. This is like probably one of the thickest mascaras I've used, and I personally love a bit of thickness, so I'm actually really liking it. Again, slightly clumpy, but like, I mean, I'm looking at it now and it doesn't look like really bad. It doesn't look like I've got like 3 lashes stuck together or anything like that, so it's, yeah, I mean, it's good actually. I like it. Right, so that's our eyes done, so let's move on to some base products. As I said, I don't have a foundation, but I have got a new concealer to try out, and I might just do the thing where I put concealer, like I use it as a foundation, so I put it all over my face, because I do actually do that quite a lot in day-to-day life, especially if I've like not got a load of time to do my makeup. I will just put concealer on all over my face as foundation. The new concealer I've got to try is the Revolution Fast Base Concealer. This has been out for quite a while, but I've not got around to buying it. I feel like I have heard quite a few positive things about this concealer. I did also pick up one of the new supersized versions of the Conceal and Define because my little one ran out so damn fast, so I'm glad that they did bring out like a bigger version, because my main complaint with the original one was that, like, I swear to God, I used it like less than 5 times and it was gone. It was just like, okay. We're not going to be using that today. We are using the Fast Base. I got mine in the shade F1 as normal. I've swatched it and the colour looks like it's going to be a pretty perfect match for me. So yeah, as I said, I'm just going to put this on all over my face. We're going to have a no foundation day. So this is a twisty up one. I quite like twisty up ones because they do feel quite like smooth and soothing to put on. So we're just going to pop this pretty much everywhere and hope that it spreads out. I feel like I'm having a bit of a shit skin time at the moment, so I'm hoping that this will give some decent coverage. It's definitely a pretty perfect colour for me. Like, it wouldn't really highlight though, it's more of like the same colour as my skin, which is fine. So this is the only Revolution concealer that I haven't tried, so after this I'll have tried all of them. Although you never know, they might bring out another one. I've got a lot of that on my face, so surely that's enough. So I'm just using my sponge to blend this in. Considering I've just used like 1 layer of concealer there, that's covered really well, but I want to be fair and build it up a little bit, because I would do that with foundation anyway. But I mean, still, like, pretty damn good coverage. I just want to build it up a little bit just because I've got like really bad skin at the moment. So I feel like putting that concealer all over my face, it just kind of looks like I'm wearing like a medium coverage foundation, so that's pretty damn good. I mean, it's sitting on the skin really smoothly, hasn't clung weirdly to any areas, perfect colour, and like pretty damn good coverage. So I'd be quite interested to see what that is like over the top of foundation, because if it does that just on its own, then that's probably going to be good with some foundation on as well. Like, You're looking at some full coverage there, I think. Just on its own, I'd say it's like kind of like a high medium. Yeah, I feel like I'd go as far to say a high medium. I didn't actually think I was going to have a setting powder for this video. Then I realised that this palette actually does have something that I could use for a setting powder in. So this is the why can't I say this word? So this is the Imogenation Highlight to the Moon palette, which is obviously Imagination's collab with Makeup Revolution. And this has got, you know, some highlighters, some bronzers, and setting powders, which I didn't actually realise at the time. But considering I don't have a setting powder, I actually am glad that this has some in. The palette itself is gorgeous, and again, like a massive mirror, which is great for travelling, and a very good quality mirror, because I can see my makeup like even more HD in this mirror than my actual mirror. Yeah, I feel like this top row is kind of meant like all as setting powder, so obviously this one's quite like a pale one, and then that one's more of a banana powder, and this one's more of a kind of like meant for kind of like a tan skin tone. But I feel like I could probably get away with the shade Pretty Heart as an all over face powder. Do you think? Yeah, I think I could. I don't think I'd be able to get away with the banana powder. Banana powders just don't normally work on me. It just normally looks like I've got a patch of yellow on when I put them on. So obviously it's like a smaller pan than a normal powder, but so it might be harder to get my big brush in, but it should be fine with my little one. I go in with Pretty Heart, and I'm just going to set my whole face with this. Concealer definitely is a bit creasy, but everything creases on me, but I feel like this looks a bit more creasy than normal. That's fine, we will tap it out. I feel like it looks ever so slightly orangey, but I feel like that could be because I was using the Wet n Wild powder when I was doing like my eye base, and that's a bit of an orangey powder, so I don't know if there's any of that left over. But I hope that's the case, because it looks like it would be okay in the pan. I feel like quite a lot of pale shades of pressed powders just tend to go orange for some reason. I mean, like, that's sitting okay under the eyes. It looks a little bit heavy. I'm gonna, you know, hopefully try and get this brush into the pan and do the rest of my face here. It definitely does a really good job at mattifying. Like, I feel super duper matte now. I mean, the finish is okay. Like, I feel like it looks a bit better on like the kind of outer part of my face. When I set it under my eyes, it kind of went a bit cakey, but that could be just because I put it on too much, or it could also be the concealer. Like, on the rest of my face, I feel like the finish of it is fine. I feel like the colour looks a bit off. I feel like it looks a little bit dark, a little bit orangey on my skin tone, which is a shame. I'm not really that disappointed though, because I mainly bought this palette for the kind of bronzer shades as well as the highlighters, so I wasn't really expecting to find my new favourite setting powder in here anyway. Revolution definitely needs to come out with like a range of like pressed setting powders, but like skin toned ones instead of just translucent ones. I definitely feel like that's something they need to do. Or like powder foundations. Anyway, that is our base. So, I mean, we're pretty much sticking with this palette here. The main reason why I wanted to get this was because like I thought that the bronzer shades looked like they'd work quite well for my skin tone. In fact, I feel like both of these two here would work quite well on me, and I'm not actually sure which one to go for really. Can't Deal is definitely a bit too dark for me, but I could use it as an eyeshadow or something. I'll go with Literally. I feel like it looks slightly lighter, but like only by just. Like, these are the kind of shades that you could get away with using for contour and bronzer. I mean, I'm just going to be using it for bronzer today because I don't contour too often. I do sometimes, but mainly if I'm going to do like a full-on makeup look, I'll do it. But on a day-to-day basis, I just bronze. So I am going to go in with the shade Literally. Like, I can't even tell which one's lighter out of these two here, but we'll stick with Literally. And I'm just going to use this to bronze up my face. I pop this through my cheekbones and on my forehead. And when it comes to bronzers, I actually personally prefer them to be not as pigmented and kind of more like buildable, which kind of seems like what we're getting here, so that's good. I find like the more pigmented they are, sometimes it's just like very easy to go OTT. I feel like this looks like a really good colour in the pan, but I feel like on my face it looks a bit kind of redder. Which is weird because it doesn't look red at all in the pan, but On my face it's looking a bit like blushy almost. That's really odd. Okay, I definitely need to blend this. Blends out pretty well. I thought this was going to be like my perfect shade, but I don't know. I just feel like it looks a bit red. I feel like it's got a little bit patchy here. I don't dislike it, I don't know, I was expecting to like that a bit more than I actually do on the face. Like, do you feel like it looks patchy? Because I feel like it looks a bit patchy. Like it's kind of clung to the bottom parts here on my face, which I have noticed like some bronzers do that. It definitely has kind of warmed me up though, so that's good. I just expected to like that a bit more than I did. So we've got the highlighters in that palette, but I've also got some other things. So I got the Princess Cut Triple Baked Highlighter. Don't know if there's a specific shade name or if the shade name is Princess Cut, but the packaging is so cute, like a little diamond, and then that's what it looks like there. It's kind of got like these kind of icy whites at the side, and then like a more kind of purpley, lilac-y one in the middle. But obviously I'd probably swirl it around to get one, but I mean, like, it looks incredibly pigmented. I didn't intend to actually get these, but these are from Revolution Pro. These are the Skin Finish Luminescence powders, or is the shade Luminescence? They're the Skin Finish powders, but the shade is Luminescence. It's kind of like a light pinky colour, and I wanted to get 2 of these, one for my mum and one for my sister as Christmas presents, because I thought that they might like these because they're more kind of natural highlighters. But I accidentally brought 4 of them, which means now I have 2. So I didn't actually want these, but you know what, I kind of want to give them a try. I feel like they're meant to be like dupes of the MAC Skin Finish, like they're like highlighters, I think. They're supposed to be like kind of like more like natural looking highlighters. So I don't know if I should try these today, but I mean, I know I definitely want to try Princess Cut, but then I've also got like some shades in the Imogenation palette, so getting a bit overwhelmed here. What I think I'll do is I'll use the Revolution Pro first, just because I know that this is supposed to be quite natural, so then I can just kind of layer the other ones on top. So I was basing this colour more so on my mum's skin tone, but I still feel like this would work on pale skin, but it is a bit like, got a strong kind of pink tone to it. Getting any highlighter off of my brush. So we're gonna give this a go. We'll just put this on our cheekbones. I don't know if something like this would maybe work as a setting powder for like a really like glowy finish. Yeah, that's definitely like more of a kind of natural sheen, but it's actually quite nice. I actually quite like it. Like, you definitely can see it on your face. If you're the kind of person that likes a really natural highlight, which I know a lot of people do, then that is actually really nice. Like, you can definitely see it on the skin, definitely. Like, I would wear that actually on like a day where I want a more natural look. But like, I mean, it's not, I mean, you could definitely still see it there though. I mean, like, you can see that. I'm hoping that my mum will like this, because I feel like she's never used highlighters, so I thought that this would be a good thing to get her as like a kind of introduction. But I mean, considering how natural it is, it's actually quite pigmented, like when you build it up a bit, so. But it looks really like natural on the skin, but quite glowy at the same time. Ooh, that's nice. I actually like that. So we're gonna go in with Princess Cut now, and we're just gonna build it up on, should we just do it on both? Yeah, I'm just gonna put this on both cheekbones, and then we'll use some of the Imogenation ones like my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, temples, that kind of thing. But let's pack this on to the cheekbones. Oh my god. Well, that's bloody insane, isn't it? That is a pigmented highlighter. I'm just so tempted to put it on my other parts, but I want to try out the other highlighters. It is incredibly pigmented. The shade works really well on my skin tone. I don't know how well this would work on like non-pale faces, but on me that is beautiful. Oh, I think I put a bit too much on though. It's kind of gone a bit too far down. I'm gonna go in with the shade Limited Edition from the Imogenation palette. This one here, I'm going to pop that on my nose, Cupid's bow and chin. I mean, that's hella pigmented as well, like, Jesus Christ. Oh wow. I look a bit like ridiculous, I look a bit too glowy here. So let's try Angel Face. This one's got more of a gold tone. This one was a bit more kind of straight up white. This one's a bit more goldy, and I'm going to pop that on my temples, and then we'll call it a day with the highlight, because we're looking a bit OTT right now. Super pigmented. I need to blend this highlight. It's looking a bit disco ball-y. The highlighter has definitely gone well, so fantastic. I would say the highlight is probably the best part of this palette, which, I mean, I got it mainly for the bronzes, so that was not exactly how I anticipated this would go. But I also think that those skin finishes are really nice. Okay, the foundation lips are off, so let's move on to eyebrows. And I actually have a high-end product to try for once. So this is the Benefit Gimme Brow Volumizing Fibre Gel, and mine's in the shade 5, which I think is the second darkest shade. Considering all the hype around this product, it's pretty underwhelming when you get it and it's like a diddly bopper. It's so damn tiny. Mainly got this because I'm going to be doing like a half high-end, half super drug. I'm going to be doing a half high-end, half drugstore face soon, so I wanted to kind of have enough high-end products for that video. And like obviously I'd heard a lot of good things about Gimme Brow, and I bloody love brow gels, so I thought, hey, let's do it, let's try it out. But I have to say, like, oh my god, it's so tiny, it's like so diddly, and this is damn expensive. It's normally like £20 something, but it was like, I think it was like 10% off or something on Debenhams, so I got it for like £18 something, but like that's still hella expensive considering this is like a tiny, like that's tiny, that's like only slightly bigger than my actual eyebrow. This is exactly the type of kind of brush that I like, the really kind of diddly little micro thing. I really like these. I just find you can get into your brow quite well with these sorts of brushes. It doesn't seem like there's tons of excess on it either, which is good. The colour looks like it's going to be pretty good for me. It's just kind of like a dark brown. So I'm hoping that this is as good as everyone makes out because I spent a lot of money on it. But I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my brows with it. I mean, I've got to say that is a good brow gel. Like, it's probably one of the best ones I've used, which annoys me because I don't want to say that it's good because it's so damn expensive and so tiny. But like, I mean, if you can just like see my two brows next to each other, look how much of a mess this one looks. Look how like kind of neat and, you know, not as sparse it looks. When it comes to brow gels, what I tend to do is obviously fill them in like this and then add a little bit of pencil just in the outer kind of corner, which, I mean, I might do that today as well, but I mean, like, that is a pretty damn good brow gel. It's like, it doesn't come out splodgy, which I find with most brow gels. It's very easy to just kind of get clumps of it, and it just doesn't look particularly natural, but that looks hella natural. It's pretty good. I mean, I have got like a dupe for it, but I mean, it's pretty damn good. I didn't want it to be good. And you don't like have to tap off like a load of excess with this. Like, you really don't actually have to tap it at all, which is good because I feel like you waste a lot of product when you do that. So I'm hoping that means that this is going to last a bit longer. Although, as I've said, it's bloody tiny, so who knows. So let's just fill in the other brow. I don't want to like it, but I bloody do like it. It's pretty damn brilliant. I mean, that's exactly what I want from a brow gel. The only way I'm going to say that this is worth the money is if I use this on a regular basis and it's still like there after like a month, like it's not run out. Then I'll say it's worth it, but if this runs out in a few weeks, then I don't think it's worth it. But I mean, like, it's a good damn brow. Like, that's a pretty good brow. Oh, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of my NYX micro brow pencil just to the outer, what's it called? The arch. That's it. I don't really need it that much with this one, but just a tiny bit, just so it's a little bit more fuller looking. So let's just finish off the eyes. We'll go back to our Be Crazy About palette. I'm going to go in with Cloud 9, which is the white glimmery shade, and I'm going to pop this in my inner corner. I think we'll go with a contrast, and we'll go in with the matte reddish shade called Icon, and I'm just going to pop that one under my eye, basically. that's pretty damn pigmented. This whole thing is just pretty damn pigmented. Go back to our Revolution mascara to do our bottom lashes. So that's the eyes done, so we will finish off with a lip product, and I was pretty boring again this month and just got a nude bullet lip because I love nude bullet lips. So this is also from Revolution, obviously. This is the Rose Gold lipstick in the shade Chauffeur, and it's quite like a kind of brownie toned nude. I really like these sorts of colours. So let's give this a go. How can I manage to mess up applying a nude lipstick? Like, that's the easiest lipstick to apply, and I've still run over the lines. There's not much more I could say about that lipstick really. It's a nude lipstick, it's nice. I kind of thought the colour was going to be a bit more browny. It is actually a bit more pinky when it's on the lips, but I do still quite like it. It's creamy, but it's not too creamy to the point where I feel like it's probably just going to slip off in like a matter of minutes. But I mean, it's still quite like a nice, soft, smooth kind of feeling product. I like it. I don't know, I was kind of expecting the colour to be a bit more browny, which is a bit more what I like, but I do still like the colour. Anyway, that is the finished makeup look. I'm just gonna do something with my hair and give you my final thoughts. Right, so this is the finished makeup look, so I'll just tell you what my favourite products were today. Definitely the eyeshadow palette. I mean, this is hella pigmented, incredibly vibrant. I would recommend if you like these sorts of colours. Definitely very impressed with that, and pretty impressed with how the eye look turned out. Also the Revolution Faster Base Concealer. I'm quite excited to see what this is like over foundation, but just on its own, it's pretty damn good. Very impressed with the coverage of this and the finish. Very nice. Begrudgingly, the Benefit Gimme Brow. A pretty amazing brow gel, I will say. Probably the best brow gel I've used. Just wish it wasn't as expensive as it is. The Princess Cut Highlighter. Very beautiful. Really like this. Oh, the Revolution Skin Finish Luminescence. I wasn't sure if I'd like this, but it's more natural, but like it still does show up on your face. It's really nice. I think a lot of people would really like this sort of formula. Mascara is pretty damn good as well. I mean, it's given some pretty damn incredible volume, but again, as I said, a little bit clumpy, a little bit wet. I think this will get a bit better when it dries out, but I still like it as it is now. It's just, I think I'd like it more with a bit of time. Obviously, I've not really used the pomades properly. I only used that white one, and it worked pretty well. I think it made the eyeshadows pop. I don't know if they would have looked like that anyway, but I didn't really like the kind of black one though as an eyeliner. I didn't really think it worked very well in that department, but don't know if that's what it's meant to be used for anyway. The Imogenation palette, okay, I'm not sure about the setting powder. Like, it definitely mattifies. It's just a little bit orangey on my skin. I mean, the finish was decent. Looked a bit cakey under the eyes, but on the rest of my face it looked pretty good. I was expecting to really like the bronzers, but I'm not sure. I feel like they look a little bit muddy and a little bit red on me, but I will give them another go and, you know, keep trying them, but I'm not so sure about the bronzers really. The highlighters, however, in this palette are stunning. The highlighters definitely a standout, so I used the gold one and the white one. They were beautiful, really liked those. But anyway, that is this month's first impressions done. I'm gonna recap my thoughts on these products again in a month's time, tell you if any of my opinions have changed on anything, and that video will be up probably a month or so after this one. The link will be at the end of the video once it is available. Anyway, I've had a good time trying out some new makeup, and I hope you liked the video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.